So we went ahead and created some variables that contain the values that we used as the arguments for draw a rectangle. Right? And then the challenge exercise was to do the same thing for these two values when you draw the red rectangle. So I'll assume that you went ahead and did that. And now what we want to do in this project is we want it so that if you click on the green rectangle, then the background turns green. And if you click on the red rectangle, then the background turns red. And so in order to get this done, we need to be able to access these values here in the click function. Okay. And why do we need to do that? Because we need to know the xpos and ypos and the box width and box height to know if we clicked within the box on the screen. And let me show you why. Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can open up a sketchpad here. Okay. And the reason why is because we need to set up an if statement. And let's see, is there any way to make a pencil? Oh, okay, great. So we need to set up an if statement. And how is the if statement going to look? Right? Well, if we have the xpos, ypos, that's the bottom left corner, right? The x, comma, y. And then if we have the width and the height, then we could check to see if it's in the box. So this is going to be the width, this is going to be the height of the box, right? And those are the values that we're giving. Those are the values that we created variables for. We have xpos, ypos, that's the bottom left corner of the box, and then we have the box width, box height. So those variables are these values here, xpos, ypos of the bottom left corner, and then we have the width of the box and the height of the box. So using these numbers, we can check if the click that we clicked is in the box, which it is not here, or if the click that we clicked is in the box, which it would be if we click there. Okay. So how would we get this done? Well, you would say if the, maybe I should say call this xpos. Is there an eraser tool here? Okay. Well, anyways, let's say this is xpos and this is ypos. And so why do I want to say that this is xpos and this is ypos? Because when we're over here and we click on the screen, it's going to run the click function, which means it's going to run this function definition. And the onClick function definition, this click function definition, automatically comes with two parameters, which is x and y, and they represent where we clicked on the screen. Right? So we want to distinguish between this x and this y, and the box's x and the box's y. Right? So that's why I went ahead and made sure that this was xpos and ypos. And so now what we can do is we could say if the x where they clicked on the screen, let's say right here, is greater than xpos, that means from here to there, right? So if I clicked on the screen somewhere from here, which is where the left side of the box is, which is where xpos is, and greater. So that means that I clicked somewhere from here to the right, okay, and to the right. And then I'm going to say and where I clicked on the screen is less than xpos plus width. And what does that mean? That means and from here that way. So when would these two statements be true? Well, they would be true if I clicked between this side of the box and this side of the box, right? Because it would have to be less than this value here, and my x position where I clicked on the screen would have to be greater than this value here. So let's go ahead and test it on these two clicks that I just put on the screen. This click here, well, this click, is it true for the first expression? Is the x where I clicked greater than xpos? No, it's not, right? It's less than xpos, because remember, you know, this is like negative over here on this side, and then this side over here is positive. So since this click is to the left of the left side of the box, which is what xpos is, we know that this click's x is less than xpos. So this would be false. Whoa. False. And then since we're using and, if one of them is false, the whole thing is false, right? So this would not happen because this would evaluate to false. Okay. So if we click out here, we know that we didn't click on the box. Now, what about this click here, right? Well, let's go ahead and check it out. Well, the first expression is going to be if x where I clicked is greater than xpos. And where's xpos? It's right here. So where I clicked, it is greater than xpos, right? It is greater than xpos. So this is true. And is x less than xpos plus width? So where's xpos? It's right here. And if I add width, that gets me to here. Right? And is where I clicked less than the right side of the box, basically, is what this expression here is asking, right? And it is, right? So this is true, and this is also true. And since we're using and, the whole expression is true if both of them are true. So the whole expression is true, and that means we clicked within the box. Okay. And so what does click need in order to get that algorithm done? It needs to have these values here, right? Click up here needs to have access to the x and y of where they clicked on the screen, and it also needs to have access to the box's x and y position and the box's width and height. So since we created these variables inside of main, these variables are local to main, which means click does not have access to them. Right? But we want click to have access to them so that we can get this if expression done, right? And we could check that if it clicked in the box. So in order to get this going, we need to make these variables global. All right. So I'm going to copy these guys. I'm going to create them out here. And if you ever need to indent to the left, you can highlight the lines, hold down Shift, and press Tab, like that. Okay. So now these guys are global. And in order to use a global variable here in main, we need to say at the very top of our program, global green underscore xpos, green underscore ypos, comma box width, comma box height. And now we can erase these local variables, right? And so now what this is saying is, if I ever use green xpos or green ypos, I'm talking about these global variables that I created up at the top, right? So now it's going to be able to see them when we use them down here on line 46. Okay, right. So I want you to go ahead and do the same thing, right, with these two variables here that we created earlier. Them global. You want to add them to this list here, and you want to check to see if everything still works. Okay, and let's go ahead and check to see if everything still works on our program. Yep, everything still works, right?